Hey guys, it's Mr. Neese. I'm going to talk to you about 28A through E, and I'm putting those all together in one video. And the reason is it's not really historical events, but how you look and view and interpret those events is what 28A through E is talking about. So, start with 28A. Analyze primary, secondary sources such as maps, graphs, speeches, political cartoons, and artifacts to acquire information to answer historical questions. On the test that you'll take, you'll see, or even the benchmarks and the practice ones, you'll get a political cartoon, or you may get some written text from a certain period, or a picture or photograph or a map or chart, and you got to interpret it. And really, the answers are usually right there. You just got to take it slow, read through them. Sometimes English is different than the English we're used to today, but just kind of work your way through it, and you're going to see keywords and phrases pop up that are going to help you answer the question. 28B. Analyze information by applying absolute and relative chronology through sequencing, categorizing, identifying cause and effect relationships, comparing and contrasting, finding the main idea, summarizing, making generalizations, making predictions, drawing inferences, and drawing conclusions. That's a lot of words. So, short and skinny on that one is think about the chronology, the time that it's occurring, the sequence that it's occurring, the cause and effect. Think about how World War I ended, the unsettled nature of that, the Great Depression, how those things lead to World War II, the cause and effect of those, being able to see and interpret those kind of things, taking what you've learned and showing that you can think about it and you can piece it together, okay? 28C. Now, apply the process of historical inquiry to research, interpret, and use multiple types of sources of evidence, okay? So again, it's taking evidence, historical evidence, and analyzing it, being able to interpret it, and feel that it's valid, and draw conclusions about it. 28D. Evaluate the validity of a source based on corroboration with other sources and information about the author, including point of view, frame of reference, and historical context. So a few things here. Think about, social media. Think about all the information we get today. Just because somebody says it doesn't make it true. You need to look at the author. What is the author's point of view? Is the author corroborated, meaning there are others who can support that? And when you look at history, that's very similar. Look at the context that it was written, who wrote it, why did they write it, are they alone in their thinking, are they the only ones that think this, before you start to buy into what they're saying. So basically it's using your head, getting good information, looking at this historical context of that information, who wrote it, how many wrote it that way, and looked at the facts and came to the same conclusion. So that's kind of what 28D is. It's about you thinking for yourself. 28E, identify bias and support for historical evidence, a point of view on a social studies issue or event, okay? Bias meaning favoritism. So again, this is the same concept that we saw in D. Now it's talking about it in E. It's about being able to identify when somebody is leaning a certain direction or has a certain point of view, and they're working to support it, and maybe they're valid. Maybe they're absolutely right in that. But, for you to look at it, evaluate it, and take it and interpret it and see, you know what, you're the only one who thinks about this and you're wrong, or a lot of people have done this and validated it, maybe you're right. But it's about thinking through and being critical of the sources of where that information is coming from, which is a good thing to do with any information that you receive. So hopefully that helps you with all the SEs that lie within 28.